Crafty Toads podcast. This is our podcast about knitting and sewing, and this week I can actually say crocheting. Got something to show you about that. I am Mary Beth. You can find me all over as Mary Beth 494, mostly on Ravelry and Instagram.
I am Helen, and you can find me as Helen HG69. It is approximately 150 degrees outside.
And we decided to dye yarn today.
And we are sitting in close proximity to each other with no air conditioning and two dogs sitting on top of us.
Yes. So this is going to be short.
We are glowing.
Oh my God, I'm glowing so hard. I'm practically on fire. I'm glowing so hard. God bless you. Okay, so we have a couple of things to show you because I cannot believe that
it's been a month.
Almost a month and 10 days.
It
was April 10th and now it's May 20th. It's pathetic how bad we are at podcasting.
Oh, I didn't think it had been that
on
long.
schedule. So, I'm going to say that we're a monthly podcast for the past couple of months. We have a group on Ravelry called the Crafty Toads Podcast. You can find us over there. We've got, when we do knit-alongs, we have them there. We have people show their yarn of the month that they're knitting up. So if you're part of our yarn of the month club, you can come show your pictures there, please. I seem to be saying and a lot today.
It's the heat.
Also, I mentioned the Yarn of the Month Club. Anybody who is a member of the Yarn of the Month Club, they went out on Monday, so you should be receiving them today or tomorrow or in the very near future. I hope you love them. We had so much fun dyeing them. So, and I can't wait to see what you guys think.
Yeah.
So please, anybody who does it, if you make them or if you want to tag us, it's Toad Hollow NJ. You probably should have mentioned that. We have a store online called Toad Hollow, and we sell yarn and knitting bags, and so anybody who wants to find us on the internet, we are Toad Hollow NJ, and if you would like to tag us on Instagram or in Ravelry with your knitting projects or when you get your yarn, please use Toad Hollow NJ so that we get notified. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Okay. A little bit rambly, but I'm getting to the point.
It's almost like you just had a stroke and you're like, thinking.
Okay.
You're speaking slowly so they can understand you.
Oh, good. Good. Because I think usually I speak really fast, and I was thinking, not just the second, but when I hear it back, I think, oh, I should
Sorry,
slow
pause for
down.
the breeze.
Everybody pauses for the breeze. Okay. Moving on.
Anyway, yes. So,
do you have your FO?
yes, I do.
I don't.
I would wear it.
God.
Where's yours?
I think it's right over there.
Oh.
I'm going off screen. Okay,
Okay.
you show yours. Hold it up so it's in front of me so nobody sees me exit stage.
We've been dyeing yarn, and from the area that you can see, we are presentable, but from bottom down, we're a little speckled.
Oh my God, I'm so speckled. It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Anyway, so I knit up, we wanted to have samples of our yarn ready to show. So I knit up the Magic Spring Shawl in 3 of our yarns.
Do you know who did it?
No.
Okay, I'm going to go on and look so
Okay.
we can credit
It's a Magic Spring on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. It's lots of garter, but it displays yarn very well. So this is our Aconitum, which is from our Deadly Garden series. This is Easter from our American Gods series. And then we have Deadly Nightshade.
It's by Katerina Babkova. Magic Spring Shawl.
Yep.
From Katerina Babkova.
So it's a huge
beautiful.
shawl. This isn't even blocked yet, and this is how big it is. Here, hold. You take it. So, absolutely mammoth, but it was. I wore it on Saturday, because 90 degrees today, but Saturday was 40s and pouring rain when we were in New York City, and it was perfect. It drapes beautifully. I will. See.
Oh, you are so good. Mine is not coming anywhere near my skin.
So, I am not a shawl whisperer, like some people. I have to
Where you
spend
just
like
put
half
it
an
on,
hour. Yeah,
and it just drapes
drapes
magically in the
perfectly.
right
That is
way.
not me at all. So but there, you can see how with very little effort, it just goes around your neck and drapes perfectly. So
It's beautiful.
it is. So I'm very, very pleased with it.
Love the colors.
It is not coming off my neck.
Love the colors.
So that is my FO.
My FO is another shawl. This is the Pollinator Shawl by Dominique Trad. Again, we did it to showcase some of our yarns. Look at that, that's so pretty.
That's beautiful.
It's really pretty. So the sandy color down the middle is the main color, and that is Mr. Wednesday from our American God series. All the others are minis from our boho series. So we have, this is Vagabond, the blue is Vagabond, the pink is Warrior Princess. No, the pink is Lady Defiance.
Right.
The green is Eleutheromania, which is an intense desire to be free. The purple is Gypsy Soul. And the gold is
Free Spirit.
Free Spirit.
And they are, we have a mini set, and then we also have full skeins now,
Yes.
which have been added since we last podcast.
So, beautiful, beautiful shawl. I have not worn it yet. It has not been blocked yet, but it's lovely and big, and I liked the pattern a lot.
It's a beautiful pattern.
Yeah, they called for 2 colors, so I just put minis in instead of doing just 2 colors. But the stripe is all garter, and then you do a lace bit on the bottom, and then more garter, and then just a little bit of lace to do bind off. And then you have the choice of doing either a picot bind off, or you could do what they called a hard bind off, which just gave it points. So it's not picot, it's just a little bit of point. But I think it's lovely, I really do. And I love the way the points follow the points going the other direction of the purple going up. It's such a pretty, pretty thing.
It's
So,
very spring.
yes,
Perfect.
love it. Anyway, I recommend the pattern. It was a nice pattern today. I enjoyed it. And it did not take me overly long to finish, which is unusual because I am a slowish knitter. So, it
Well,
worked out
we
well.
dedicated all our knitting time
Yes.
to those 2 things for the last month. So
Right, so that is done. Okay, moving on.
FO's done.
FOs, done. All right, so moving on to our whips, works in progress. This is going to be a little bit repetitive.
We're
'Cause
twinsies.
We're doing the same thing, however,
We're doing different colors.
yes. You want to start with Helen Stewart?
Sure.
Okay, so we joined the Shawl Society, even though last time I joined and did 1/4 of one, and Helen did 1 full one and then a half of another one.
I'm about 3/4 of the way
Okay, so 1 3/4. But we have all these lovely shawls in our patterns to work on. So we decided we love Helen Stewart's patterns. We decided we were going to do the Shawl Society too.
Yeah.
So we got our first pattern last week. It is the Fairy Hill Shawl. Maybe 2 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Maybe 2 weeks ago.
At least 2. May have been. I think may have
I
been
think it
even
was
3.
I think it was the beginning of May. It was May 4th. It was May 4th. So,
Okay. That's right. May the 4th.
right. So, okay. So if we jumped a little bit and now I'm a little bit more over to the right or something like that, it's because I had to go turn off the timer for the yarn. Okay. So anyway,
Helen Stewart.
Helen Stewart. So we got the first one, and you get 1 a month for 6 months. So the first one is called the Fairy Hill Shawl.
That is the Fairy Hill Shawl. And you can do 2 different sizes. There's a medium size, and then you can do a larger size, which is 2 colors, which is what we are both doing.
Right.
Would you like to go first?
Sure. I am not terribly far along,
And show our colors.
but okay. I have started. This is the Fairy Court, which is, this was
February.
March's color for our yarn club. This is what it looks like caked up, and that is how it looks knit. So as I said, I'm not terribly far along. As my accent color, the lace on the bottom It is going to be, this is our beach glass, or sea glass. It is mostly a sandy tan color with
Obviously.
drips of light blue and light green in it to represent beach glass.
When winding cakes go bad.
Well, oh, you know what happened? I started knitting it in that and then changed my mind and decided I wanted the fairy court to be the main color. So that's why it's not wound beautifully. It's not a gorgeous cake the way it's supposed to be, but that is the way it is going to look together. It's going to be stunning.
Beautiful.
It's going to be absolutely beautiful. So that's, here, this is what it's going to be like together. So this is the fairy court, and then that's sea glass. And this, I think we have in our shop right now.
Yes.
We still have one of those in the shop. The fairy court will not be available until September at the earliest because we are doing a 6-month.
It's an exclusive yarn club for 6 months.
It's exclusive for 6 months. So, but that's what mine looks like. It's so pretty. I love it. Now I'm thinking, drop everything, go back to this.
I know.
Which is terrible. Okay.
I am doing mine. My main color is Bad Tuesday. And then my secondary color is going to be Desert Lily. Both of which should be in the shop.
So pretty.
And this is how far I have gotten. So I'm a little bit further than you are.
A little bit.
It looks like I'm much further.
We have already established that you knit much looser than I do, so yours... However, yours are more airy.
Yeah.
You know, mine
Yours
are
yours very
tighter.
dense, yeah.
So it's a denser thing. So mine will never drape exactly the way yours will.
Right.
But
unless you go up a needle size or 2.
Or 7. So, but it's really...
But I love the pops of yellow that are coming through. I hope you can see that. We're not sure how good our lighting is going to be for gathering color. But
the yarn is lovely and wonderful to knit with. The pattern is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's really such a nice pattern.
And you have the option of using beads. I am not
okay.
opting for beads.
Who was it? Is it Yarngasm that did it?
She's got a yarn. No, somebody was saying, I forget who said it, but Yarngasm has the tutorial.
Okay, so Kristen from Villenvine has a tutorial on how to work with beads that someone was saying was really, really good.
Makes it look so easy.
Right. I think it may have been, was it Little Bobbins? I think it was Little Bobbins. That Danny from
think
Little
it was,
Bobbins
yeah.
said that she had seen it. So if you are interested in using beads, check out Kristen's tutorial to see how to do it. With us, lack of beads and just I wanted to do it without. So
I'm not a bead person.
neither am I. Although
some of them
when
look absolutely
Danny
gorgeous.
was showing hers. Oh my
Yeah.
God,
I mean, it depends on what you're wearing your shawl for. If you're going to be wearing it
like
for a more
fancy,
formal event,
right?
like at a wedding, just to throw over your shoulders or something like that, the beads are perfect. But if you're just wrapping it around, your neck to run out to the car or whatever.
Right. Which is the way we tend to use our shawls. We're not very fancy people. Okay, on to our next whip, which is, of course, well, okay, not of course. We usually do not jump on the bandwagon as far as knit-alongs are concerned.
We try. We think we want to, but then we never really follow through as much. So.
But we saw everybody putting up their Hohi knit-alongs, or their yarn for the Hohi starting point knit-along, and we were just joking around and playing around, and then I picked out 5 things of yarn, and I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. And then Helen's like, well, now I have to do it because I can't have you do it and me not do it. So we have started the Hohi starting point knit-along.
Spoiler.
So this one is a mystery. So if you haven't started yet and you have been very careful not to see anybody else's,
We're going to show ours.
we're going to show ours right
And
now.
I have one section totally done, so you're going to see.
Okay, you ready?
But should we start with our colors?
Well, see, with the colors, you've already got them all the way in there, so.
Okay. So, it's a very interesting pattern.
We've never done anything like this before.
Because she's got us knitting in 2 pieces.
So you are doing exactly the same thing on 2 different needles.
2 different needles, which Not sure I'm going to like because I'm not a big sewer together.
But we don't know that we're going to sew it
not
together.
Sure,
so
because when the clue first came out, we were at knit night last week, and everybody was saying, "Oh, it's out, it's out, it's out." So of course everybody runs to their phones to check, and we're all saying, "Oh, we have to knit 2 pieces," and then we decided that no, we want to do the knit along. It's a mystery,
right.
and if we have to sew 2 pieces together, I can sew 2 pieces together. It's not the end of the world. So this is mine. This is the first full piece, and then I have to, this is clue 1, and then the completion of clue 1 will be a second piece exactly the same as this. So my first color, which is down here, is Will-o'-the-Wisp, which is Toad Hollow. Then the blue and turquoise is Shadow Moon. And then I deviated from using our yarn, and I finally get to use my Elm Tree Yarns Jemima Puddle Duck, which is the yellow one here. The green.
You're very carefully pointing to it on this side, and they can't see that. The green.
The green is Eleutherimania. The pink is Fairy Mouse, which I'm so excited that I get to knit with Fairy Mouse. And that's it. That's 5, right?
Yep.
Yep. So that is my first one.
It's so pretty.
I'm not sure
It's
whether I like it.
beautiful. I like it.
There are pieces of it that I adore, like the Fairy Mouse I love and the Will-o'-the-Wisp I love. And I actually think I like the Shadow Moon in there too. Right now I'm thinking that the Jemima and the Eleutherimania are too bright.
I don't know. I think it's good. I
Okay.
really do think it's good. I think it pulls on the blues from Shadow Moon.
Yeah.
So because they're kind of bright too. So
I'm too far along. We're going with it. This is how we do it. But so that is mine, and I
Beautiful.
have just that much done, which I have to finish today to stay on track of the second piece. So our life went to hell on Tuesday, so we haven't had as much time, but we'll get to that later.
All right, so mine, instead of doing one whole one and then starting the second one, I decided I was going to do them in tandem. So I've been doing color 1, then on the second needles, color 1, color 2, second needles. So
And
I
if
have to.
We're continuing with the 2 pieces, excuse me. I'm going to do that, I think, going forward, because going back was just like, oh my God, I have to do this all over again. I wanted to see
What it was going to look like?
Yeah, I was
Right.
impatient, and I wanted to see what the final thing was going to look like.
Okay, so.
God, yours. See, the problem with mine is I really like yours.
All right, so this is my second piece, and this is my first piece. And you can see I'm just a little bit further along. I just started adding the next thing. So Helen was so good at using our yarn to showcase it. I did not use any of our yarn at all. All right, so mine are, this is Budgie from Chelsea Luxe.
Here. You
Okay.
take. All
right, so that's
this one here.
That's Budgie from Chelsea Luxe. So the orange is Heat Wave from Collier and Black, handmade in Ohio. The speckled one next is Winnie Sanderson from Legacy Fiber Arts. The red is Sorbet from the Uncommon Thread, which was a trade that I did with Wendy, I think it's Wendy, in England. So the red was the Uncommon Thread, and then the purple is Something Sweet from Chelsea Luxe. So
Oh my God, I love yours so much.
I really love mine. So this is why when I put these 5 skeins together and was looking at them together, I said, that's it. Gotta do
I
this.
stamped my foot once because I wanted it, but
I
I went
wouldn't
and
give it
found
to her.
mine. But gotta love it.
I stood strong and said, no, I'm doing this.
I feel
So-
like about these colors the way I do about the ones that I picked for my snow melt. I just think this is gorgeous.
I think it's beautiful. I really, really do. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So this is why I am not as far along as Helen, but I'm farther on my second piece.
I actually think you are further along in the grand scheme.
Yeah. So we are going. I am going along. It looks like two little rainbows,
Yep.
but I think we were wondering. We're not sure, but we were
somebody
wondering
did this.
if what you're going to do is you put them together like that to make a square, which put them together and they do line up, which I was a little worried about because sometimes when you're knitting two pieces they don't exactly line up, but they do line up, so they're okay. So, and that is going to be very beautiful.
Yes.
But we shall see. So
Mystery.
That's where I am. Yeah, no, it's really, and I love the fact that you have some that is garter. Then you have some that is knitting through the back loop of things, so it's making an interesting.
Well, it's knitting and purling through the back loop. And purling through the back loop is a pain in the neck.
But it's making. Can you hold it up so they can see it up close? Helen has much longer arms than I do.
Because I have the bigger piece of it.
So the second color,
the blue, is the ribbing.
It's like ribbing. That's it.
But it's well, it's a paid for pattern. But you're knitting and purling through the back loop, so it's really pretty.
And then the lace, there's a short strip of lace that has just little holes in it. And then there's the larger strip of lace that's got a zigzag going through. Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's really, really pretty. So there's some to keep.
And you're occupied.
Yeah. I do have to pay attention. And
actually, just as you're getting to the point where it's like, oh, this is getting, she throws in garter for you.
Right.
So that you can just go with a couple of rows of garter. So
it's good. I like it very, very much.
And this is our first hohi that we've ever
I know.
knit.
I can't believe we haven't knit hohi before.
I know. Somebody is doing a knit along, I think it's Christy Glass, where you pick a hohi sweater and you fade.
I saw something with that.
That I think she just announced today.
Yes. And I bought 4 hohi patterns.
And I really like that because I love the idea of the fade. I wasn't thrilled with the great big huge shawl.
Right. So kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
And I also, the faded sweater is very fitted.
Oh yeah, and the sleeves are fitted.
When you are my shape, fitted is not the best way to go.
When you're not Christy Glass and
Right.
you're Grams.
Right. So the hohis are a little bit boxier.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be more flattering for us.
Christy is doing the granito.
Is she really?
Yeah.
We're going to have to look into that because we wanted to do we've been wanting to do the sweaters. We've actually had them for quite a while. We just haven't done anything with them. So, all right. All right, so our other thing that we have been working on, I'm crocheting. Swear to God, don't know who I am anymore. Honestly, I'm going to show you what I've been crocheting.
crocheters now.
I'm a crocheter.
We're just all
Wait till you see. I've been crocheting flowers. Little bitty flowers.
In our town of Keyport, every year the garden club puts on what they call the garden walk. And 30 to 40 of the gardens in town open up their gardens to people for the weekend, and you get to walk around town and see all the gardens.
It's really great.
Wonderful event
Because go ahead.
they're gardens that are done by real people. This is not gardens that were, landscaped by a professional.
We do have quite a few master gardeners in town, though, so some of them are really
Some of them are
spectacular.
really, but it's not like you're walking through Versailles and thinking, oh,
yeah, I can do that.
Right. This is stuff that you can really do. It's a great town. It's a 1 square mile town, so you get to walk around, see the old houses, see the gardens. And we
Some
last
of these
year
are actually professional looking.
did a
Where's my
a
first?
scavenger hunt for them on a couple of the houses, and they asked us to do it again. So we're putting together a scavenger hunt of deadly flowers, and what we're doing is part of how to find them will be through the crocheted flowers. So we have to crochet like 70 flowers or something.
We are well on our way. We have a
we've
bag
got a
full
lot.
of flowers. I'm trying to find my first one. Okay, so our friend Heather was trying to teach us teach me how to do this at trivia about a couple of weeks ago.
In a pub, in the dark. Here, you talk and I will find.
See if you can find it. Okay.
That's how many flowers we've got.
I know, there are tons in there. So anyway, she was trying to show me, and I really had not done a whole lot of crocheting. So she was explaining to me what to do, and she said, you do this, and then you do this, and I'm watching her, and then you do this, and
Do you remember what color it was?
no, I don't. I kind of thought it was the orange yellow one, but I don't think so. Anyway, she started showing me, and it was so mangled. The thing that I came out with was not even a flower.
Gosh, your crochet as tight as you knit.
Oh, come on. It's see all these? They're all flowers. Lots and lots of flowers. Anyway, it was such a mangled mess. I was going to show you what it was, but if we can't find it, it's okay. It was just...
It was really quite funny.
Yes, because I showed it to Helen and she just started. There you go. Okay, so Heather went whipping through her thing and wound up with something that looked like this, okay? That was what hers looked like. This actually is one that I did, so I want to point out that I have figured out.
So this is where we have progressed to.
This is... this is... I wasn't even drinking.
Who runs the garden club or the garden walk was with us that night, and Mary I was like, look, I finished one. Claire said, okay, we don't need crochet flowers. It's okay. She was really trying to be very nice about it, but
that was my... I did not say I finished one. I believe I said I screwed this up so bad.
Has a little...
Yeah, you could look at that as something actually phallic. Maybe we turn it, you know, I don't know.
Does that make it better?
Anyway, I would like to
throw out the bad flower now that we
Yes.
have put your shame on display.
I would like to point out that I went from that to that.
In a very short amount of time.
Because it's been less than 2 weeks.
And without any classing.
Yes.
Classing. Without any classing.
Yeah.
You know, schooling.
It's almost like we have a mariachi band
was gonna
outside
say.
singing to us. Okay, so we now have a whole bunch of flowers. We have to figure out how to string them together to make them into a garland,
Right.
because we're going to have a garland of flowers in each of the gardens.
I figured
that
we're
has,
just going to make a chain.
right. But I have been sticking to rather simple flowers because I'm going with what I'm comfortable with. Helen has been branching out a little bit. Oh my God, what she's been doing. Look at these.
My daisies.
Helen is a little bit more advanced crochet than I am.
But you're getting there.
I am. I'm coming along. I am mastering one thing first.
That's my other daisy. So I have two daisies. And then I got bored with flowers.
Okay, here. She decided to let me do the flowers. This was her idea, and she does 2 of them and then goes off and
This
does
was not
something
my
else.
idea.
It wasn't mine.
No?
Me suggest crochet flowers? I don't think so. Anyway,
So-
go ahead. I'm doing sugar skulls. How cool are these? She's got to add colors to them
So I've just added the flowers to this one, and then I'm going to do stuff up here.
and go around the eyes. We
Right.
said go around the eyes.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do first, and see if that's enough. But those are my sugar skulls.
They're so cool.
They don't
Do you
look
think you
much
could
like
do-
skulls right now, but
No, they do, but do you think you could do 7 of them? So we could have one in each
for the
garden.
deadly garden.
And
Yeah,
it could
because it
be
really
in the
doesn't
middle.
take long.
If you have that and then have the flowers coming out from the side,
Oh, that'd be good.
that would be really pretty.
I wouldn't even necessarily have to do the sugar skulls. I could just do the skull.
See,
For the deadly garden.
brainstorming on camera. You're the first to know.
You got that, Claire?
Gorgeous.
So,
That is our other thing that we have been working on.
and it's cotton yarn, so it's not like unbearable to work with when it's 90 degrees outside.
Also, something this size, I can handle. I was trying to do a couple of the smaller ones in the pub last night because we did trivia last night, and they didn't turn on the air conditioning either. you know when the yarn sticks to your hand because your hand is so sweaty and hot? That's where we were.
But the
I didn't
cotton
get very
doesn't do
much
it.
done.
So,
Okay. You want to put those in here too?
yeah.
Keep them all together. We have our little bag of flowers.
Okay. We will take pictures.
And when we get them done, we'll
Yeah.
put them. We'll put it up. Okay. Moving on. All right. In the shop. Do you have your in the shop stuff?
I have one thing.
We have some new bags that are going to be going into the shop soon.
We have
Did you bring over all of them?
No,
or
I
just
bought
one?
I just bought the one.
Okay.
It's just this in a different pattern, so I have 3 of this particular pattern.
Okay.
We have a show on Saturday in town. It's the Antique and Artisan Festival.
It is officially the Keyport Antiques and Artisan Festival.
Okay.
CAF.
Cap.
CAF.
Anyway.
Anyway.
So it's not necessarily, it's not like a fiber festival or anything like that. So I came up with a new bag.
I love this bag.
It's a little mini sock tote.
So, are you going to put a snap on the top or just leave it open?
I don't know.
I kind of think leave it open.
I thought about that, but then I thought, what if you want to snap it? I'm going back and forth.
Put the snap in because then if they don't
Right.
want to snap it,
They
they
can
want to
leave
leave
it
it open.
open.
They just
Right.
they don't snap it, but give them the
Yeah.
option. Yeah. Okay.
This is our little mini tote. It's going to be we're going to call it the sock tote because it's going to be perfect to carry around your little socks project. And I'm so thrilled with how it came out.
So am I. I love that. Okay.
And it can be anything. It can be a little pocketbook. It can be a lunch tote. What do you want to do?
Open it up so they can see inside. So we were talking about it. How wide is it?
It is 11 inches wide by 8 inches tall, and then I've got a 6-inch bottom. 6-inch bottom.
So it's nice and wide and open. Bottom.
See?
Okay, so
I'm a minion.
you're a minion. Either that or a 3-year-old.
It quacks like a duck. Anyway,
Yep.
So
I love the yellow. Very
Yeah.
springy yellow. Daffodil. Cool. All right.
totes.
My in the shop. We are going to have some new toadstools.
They will hit online next week because we'll debut them at the festival, and then whatever we have left will go up in the shop.
I have 2 new emblems for our toadstool. So this is our toadstool bag. It's a canvas bag. It's going to have a drawstring. We have them in different colors. And we have the elephant. And then the other one is not sewn together yet, so this is just the front piece, but I want to show it because I love it so much. It says, a woman's place is in the resistance.
And if you're
A Star Wars geek.
I was gonna say,
You know that that's the symbol of the resistance from the Star Wars
Rogue One.
Rogue One, which we finally saw. Very,
And I'm
very
not a
good
big
movie.
Star Wars geek.
I am sorry. I like Star Wars a lot, but loved that movie. Cried so hard. Wasn't expecting to, but did. Anyway, so these are our toadstools. We will have them in orange and a goldenrod and pink and a Kelly green and gray. I think that's it. Oh, a
Natural?
cream. A natural
Yeah.
cream. So, there you go. Very cool. All right. That's my stuff for in the shop. All right, so talk about something that we're excited about that's coming up.
Acquisitions?
Well, we're going to do the other thing first,
Which is?
the skirts.
Oh, okay.
Helen pointed out to me that Amber from the Yarn Hoarder has decided that she does not want to wear pants anymore, which I am 100% behind. So
She's substituting.
she's decided she's going to wear skirts.
Sounds like we've all decided we're going pantsless.
But she's decided she's going to make her own skirts, and she found a designer who makes skirts, and her name is Sonia Phillip, and she does. I wrote it down. Excuse me. I keep looking off screen, and I'm so sorry. But
I am not a huge pants person either. I'm much more comfortable in a skirt. And I think it's just, skirts are more flattering, they're cooler.
Alright.
And if I have my choice, especially during the warmer weather, it's skirts all the way.
Yeah.
So I made a comment on Amber's Instagram post that I'm behind you.
Yeah.
100%.
We are joining the revolution. No pants revolution.
Right.
It is 100 acts of sewing, and her name is Sonia Phillip. Her patterns are on Etsy, and I'm pretty sure her Etsy shop is 100 acts of sewing. And we're gonna buy a couple of the patterns, and Lord knows we have fabric.
Yeah.
So.
And Amber was using quilting cotton, and she did them up in a day. So
I know, she's whipping through them so quickly. So we figure we're going to try it and see what we do. So that is what's up next on our needles. Well, on our sewing needles. Hopefully we'll be able to show you some soon.
Yeah.
Because we're kind of excited about that. Okay. So
with Hannah from Hannah Made It. She's another yarn dyer out of Cincinnati, I believe.
That was such a pleasant face to the camera with my determined look on.
She and I follow each other on Instagram and interact a lot, and she had said at one point ages ago that we should, as yarn dyers, swap yarn. So Hannah, we did a swap, and we each picked a skein from each other's shop. So since Mary Beth and I were each picking a skein, Hannah picked 2 from ours, and we picked 2, and then she very nicely sent us 2 more. One will be a giveaway for the podcast, and then one she sent just for us, because I said I was trying hard to decide between 2 of them. So
we have shelves. Helen is the top shelf. Mine is the second shelf.
The one that I was trying to decide between somehow ended up not on my shelf.
It's on my shelf. I stole it. But anyway, go ahead.
So my first choice was Punk Pony, which is this. It's a lovely cream with very slight speckles.
A little bit of sparkle in there.
A little bit of sparkle. It's on her sparkle base. It's 420 yards, 63% superwash, 20% silk, and 15 nylon.
Wow.
And 2 stellina. Wow, for 2 stellina, it really shows up really well.
Very pretty.
Very pretty.
Very
So
pretty.
this will be a base of a shawl.
Mine is on her Reliance sock, and it is a narwhal party. This is 400 meters, 100 grams, 85 superwash merino, 15 nylon. So that is the narwhal party.
It's just gorgeous.
Yeah. There are speckles in there.
Yeah. See.
And some turquoise and some blues, and then little bits of green.
She does a great job.
Yes. Really beautiful.
Her shop is Hannah Made It on Etsy.
This is the 3rd one that she sent for us that we will duke it out over.
It will be the perfect thing for somebody's project, and that will be when
Yes.
it gets used. And it's,
Because really, I mean, the ones that I chose for my shawl, one of them is yours, and one of the shawls you made, a couple of them were mine, so it's, we switch back and forth. It's really very fluid.
So anyway, this is from Rose with Love. It's 410 yards, 80-20 nylon. So she sent us all our different bases that we get to try out too.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Love
and
these
then
colors. Love pinks and greens
for
together.
the podcast, she sent us on her sparkle base. It is Springtime in Gothville. So look at all of those lovely colors. Purples, pinks, and gray.
And green.
It's really, we're going to have to come up with a giveaway fairly quickly before I change my mind.
We will do a knit along, and it'll be a prize for the knit along.
So, thank you very much, Hannah.
Thank you so
were
much.
Really, very, very generous. So, Hannah Made It on Etsy. She does wonderful work. She does pretty much weekly updates in her shop. So, and if you want to follow her on Instagram, she's Hannah Florian. And I'll put all that on the screen.
Cool.
Thank you.
Helen mentioned that on Saturday when we were in New York when it was pouring rain. We went into Annie & Co., which is a knitting and stitching store in New York City. They were having the Plucky Knitter trunk show there. So we maneuvered our way through and managed to find it. And we went and...
In an absolute monsoon.
Yeah, it really was. It was pouring. But...
Umbrellas blowing inside out.
that was fun.
That was lots of fun.
But we got there and we picked out some yarn and then we sat at the table and knit and chatted with a lady who's up from South Carolina and just really had a lovely time spending the afternoon knitting. So
yeah.
It was my mom's last opera that she was in New York for the season. So we're not doing that anymore for a while until the fall. But yeah, we had a couple hours because it was the longest opera. So we had about 4.5 hours to waste, and what better way to do it than spend it in a yarn shop?
And it's a beautiful yarn shop. It's a big yarn shop for New York City.
Yeah, really big.
She's got a really big space.
Lots of yarn.
There's lots of yarn, and then like half the store is embroidery.
Right.
So she has got every imaginable embroidery floss. And
all different weights, different types.
Yeah, colors, everything. It makes you almost want to embroider.
Right. Well, for Helen, me not so much.
No, you were getting there.
I like the pictures. Yeah. Really, I don't like to cross.
But then we were saying, well, it's not just cross stitching because it's embroidery too. But we were saying that to pick up another craft with the little time that we have,
right?
I'm always going to pick knitting.
Yeah.
If I have to choose between one or the other for the little bit I have.
Go sit down. Go on. Go. 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 Go lay down. Go on. Go lay down. Okay. So we each got to pick a yarn from the Plucky Knitter. We each got to pick one skein to bring home with us. And go ahead. You want to show
They
yours?
have gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. So I have tons of colorful, speckly, variegated,
stripy
in my stash. I do not have a ton in my stash.
No, but look, all the colors.
Yeah. So I don't have a ton of neutral, because when I get to pick yarn, I'm going to go for the color, and
right.
I never, unless I'm picking for a specific project, I never think in terms of neutrals, because I like color. But then as I've been picking for shawls recently, I've been thinking, I really wish I had more neutrals, that I could add my pop of color to.
Like my shawl with Mr. Wednesday, where it's got the sandy color, the color shows so nicely against it because you've got that kind of bland color to start with, but then the colors really pop against it. So
I was going back and forth between the colorful and this, what I ended up with, which is their Traveler Sport base. It's sport weight, so it's 325 yards. It's 65 extra fine superwash merino, 20% mulberry silk, and 15% yak. This is the most squishy skein of yarn. The color is 12.
Okay,
I am more intrigued with the base than I am the color, but I will love the color when I pair it with something, I mean, you know, like that. So
we will go from your squishy to my cloud. This is their nifty base, 310 yards. It is 60% merino, 30% cashmere, 10% you're covering up nylon.
I'm holding it out.
No, I know, but you're covering the label. I can't read. And this is the succulent color. So it is 60-30-10 merino, cashmere, nylon. Nettle. See, I need to put my glasses on. Nettle.
It's a plant. You got plant in there.
So it's succulent. It is such a gorgeous dark green. It is lovely. Now hold that up next to the the springtime.
Oh. See
that?
Tell you, we got to do the giveaway fast.
Anyway, wait, look at this. Look at that. Yeah. Beautiful. So, that's mine. I have never knit with nettle.
And
I can't even read nettle, obviously.
Never worked with Plucky Knitter either, and she's got wonderful bases.
Oh yeah, she does.
She had 100% cashmere. $74 a skein, which I'm not begrudging in any way, shape, or form, but oh my god, I was just sitting there petting it.
I know. You couldn't do anything else. You know, oh my god. We took part in the State to State swap from Amy's Knotted Knits. She has a podcast and a Ravelry group, and we joined up and got paired with someone in a different state to swap things that are from your state. So you're supposed to find a yarn dyer in your state and that sort of thing. And I got linked with Teresa from Alabama, and my package came. I'm so excited. So I got
a bag full of Alabama goodness.
Yes, this is a bag. She wrote everything out for me. It is
Quilt Knit Craft.
Quilt Knit Craft. So the bag came with a little mini to go with it. Can you see?
There you go.
So that went with the bag, and there's a stitch, a drawer or a zipper
Progress
pull
paper.
that is a little ball of yarn with needles sticking through it. Really cute. And then there are 2 skeins of yarn from Ellie Belly.
This is 100 grams, 490 yards. Colorway is Peggy, and it is 100% superwash.
This is MCN High Twist Socks, 80 superwash, 10 cashmere, 10 nylon. It is 100 grams, 400 yards. It is, colorway is Bonus Puzzle.
Look at them together.
I know they are so pretty together. Teresa, you did such a good job with this. I love them.
I'm
Absolutely
picking colors
love
that are
them.
perfect for you.
Yes. And I like that there's one solid and one stripy, because I love stripies.
Yeah.
And then there's the one solid. And then there was a little progress keeper that's a little brownie with sprinkles on it. And that is from Pitter Patter Polymer. And then the card is from With Art and Word. What she did was take all the different places in Alabama and make them into the state of Alabama.
Such a good idea.
Beautiful. Really, really beautiful. And then there is a stitch marker that is also from Ellie Belly. It's a little snowflake. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so thank you so much, Teresa. I love my stuff. I really do. Here, quickly back in the bag before it falls on the floor. Thank you. Oh, also, it came with a bag of Goo Goo Delights, which are chocolate-covered peanuts and nougat and caramel, and they are just unbelievably delicious. They are in the fridge because we don't
melting.
want them to melt, so they are chilling in the fridge. But they are delicious because we tried them. All right, I think we may be done.
Well, we do
that's
have to
all.
talk about our life
Our life.
exploding.
That's right. Okay, so one of the reasons that we're just
Scattered and all over the damn place.
puzzled. All right. Our landlord came to visit us on Tuesday.
We rent our house.
Yes.
My husband and I live together. So
We've been here for almost 3 years.
yep. We
And-
just got it the way we love it.
Yeah.
We can move in it. We can work here because we do everything from home. It's just perfect.
And the landlord came by on Tuesday and said that he is getting together, or he has a girlfriend who has an 8-year-old son, and they need a place to live. And they're moving in here because this is his house.
And we said, but there's no room for you.
Yeah. He didn't
And
find
he,
that
as the
nearly
owner of the
amusing.
house, said, no room for you.
So he would like to move in as soon as possible, because right now I believe he is sharing a house with his parents, which
with his girlfriend.
and her son. Never a good situation, especially since his parents' house is about the size of this one, and that's kind of small for the two of
Yeah.
us. So anyway, he said if he could move in by June 1st, that would be really, really nice. This was on the 16th.
Yeah. So
14 days. Sure.
no problem.
We've been looking for a new house. That's what we've been spending most of our time on. So we are going to be moving relatively soon. And
It is added stress just because moving is a pain in the neck. Finding the place is a pain in the neck just because.
It is going to be much better once we find a place
Right.
and we know where we are going, so we know this goes in storage type of thing, or everything goes, and we
Right.
can have an idea. And also, I love the idea of moving because I am a gypsy at heart, and I love the idea of switching and
things.
moving new places. So that is not a problem. The actual act of moving, I hate.
And unpacking and putting it back together. It takes 3 years.
3 years.
3
people.
years to get this place.
And you can see
perfect.
behind my head that there's a tapestry that's supposed to be hanging right there on that
Yeah.
piece of yellow wall that's never getting up. So anyway, that is one of the reasons, everything has been kind of pushed out, and
We were going to go back on a regular podcast schedule. We were going to do everything.
such is life. You roll with the punches.
We will move on, and it will be fun because, as Mary Beth said, it'll be something new. We'll get a new house.
Yes.
Um,
Blank slate.
but
That's our life right now, in a nutshell. Time is going
if
by
we don't
very
podcast
quickly.
next week, Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, happy
a
Memorial Day.
Great start to summer.
Because Lord knows it's already here.
Yep. Go forth and knit.
Happy knitting, everybody. And make beautiful things and show us.